So before anyone does or learn any administration session, it becomes very important for everyone to understand the architecture of the system, right? So the moment you look at this R3 architecture, what does strike in your mind? What does R stands for? Guys, I'm explaining the things. Try to get this. If you are not able to understand by any chance, you have all the right to stop me and ask again. Guys, there are two entities here. One is R, one is 3. So first of all, we have to understand what is this R all about and what does this 3 mean. Guys, whenever anyone see R, they expect this R to be release. But here, in our context, R is not a release for us. Rather, R stands for what? Real time slash runtime. What does R stands for, guys? Real time or runtime? So, what do you mean by this real time or runtime? Simple. Anything and everything which runs with the time is a real time. So now we are here to discuss two things, Amma. One thing is the software applications which are designed to run this real-time environment. What do you mean by real-time environment? Guys, today, whatever the businesses you take, or whatever the business you take, is that a real-time business? Let me take an example of a bank business. Let us talk about ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank does what every day? We have an idea. Yes or no? So now think that you are an admin on the server and the software which is running this ICICI Bank. So you are an admin there. So you logged into operating system of that server which runs ICICI business, and you have stopped the software application which is running the business, and you have changed the date to yesterday, and you started the server or a software on it which is running the bank in yesterday's date. What would happen? What would happen? Whatever the business which is stored in ICICI Bank in yesterday's date and time, now today also with the same date and time, that business is getting saved or transactions are getting saved. Ultimately, the data is already there with the time and date, and you are overwriting that with the data with another time and date, or same time and same date, another data. So ultimately, that data wherein this entire bank business is stored, it becomes useless, right? Or it becomes a garbage box. So what does it mean? Why did I give you this example? I have given this example is the ultimate aim of any software in the world is to save the data, right? When it comes to SAP system, it saves business data, and whatever the data what you are saving, if that data is duplicated or not meaningful, do you use that software? No. So here, whatever the softwares what we are using today for running any small, medium, big businesses, every software is a real-time software only, right? Because everyone needs that real-time software. You should not be changing the dates and time to yesterday or further coming future. The data should be consistent. But if you're playing with the date and time, your data will become inconsistent. Inconsistent data is a garbage box. So we are here to discuss two things. One is what is R, what is 3. 3 means what different entities make or put together becomes that software application. So if three different entities put together makes a software application, we call that particular software application as three-tiered software application. So if a software is designed with what three tiers? One is presentation, one is application, one is database. If these three entities are there to make a software, or in a software, if we have these three entities, one, and these three entities are making a real-time environment to run, then the architecture of the software is considered as R3 architecture. Got it, guys? And today we are going to discuss about this class. Everyone understood? And why we are discussing this class, whatever the softwares what SAP has developed and released between the year 1992 to 2003, between the year 1992 2003, all these software applications are designed on three tier, and the purpose of that software is to run a real time environment. So we are here to discuss the architecture of such software applications. The reason being, we are basis guys, and we are responsible to do administration of such software applications which are designed on these three tiers, and the purpose of that software is to run a real-time environment. So before 1992 also we had softwares. So those softwares were designed with R2 architecture. So how R2 architecture look like, you have to have an understanding about. So before R2 architecture, there were softwares with R1 architecture also. So that means to explain you the class today, I have to take my classes from R1, R2, and then come on to R3. So now, first of all, the focus here is these three major entities clubbed together makes a software. What do you mean by presentation, guys? So, guys, today our Internet Explorer is our presentation. Yes, if I want to log into ICICI Bank, how do I log in? ICICI Bank. The moment I hit the URL of ICICI Bank, it is going to ask me user ID and password. So the moment I give user ID, and what is this Internet Explorer for me, guys? This Internet Explorer for me is my presentation. In today's world, anything, if I hit a Gmail, suppose if I want to log into my email, yahoo.com. So this is my presentation. When I hit on the presentation and give sign in, I give my user ID and password. Whatever you are seeing is a UI. UI is nothing but a presentation. And when I enter my user ID and password, so this bank server, ICSS server, has to go to application tier. Why? Because application tier is going to receive the request from a presentation and then process it. And at the time of processing it, it goes into the database. It will fetch the record and verify the password from the database. If the password is right on a presentation, you will get a login. Yes or no, guys? This is the importance of three different tiers. Now, understanding that, as I said, like when R3 architecture software were designed, it was designed between 1992 to 2003. So here, application tier is processing the data. Database tier is storing the data. Presentation tier is a user interface. If you are designing a software with these three entities and the purpose is to run a real-time environment, this software is called as three-tier architecture software. In exist, don't write anything, just relax and sit. I'm going to give you the notes after the class. This software exists between this time frame. Before 1992, between 1980 to 1992, we have softwares with R2 architecture. How R2 architecture softwares were designed on application plus database. These two tiers were acting as one, and the presentation is separated. This is two-tier architecture. Now, before 1980, 1970 to 1980, what we have R1 architecture software applications. And how those R1 architecture software applications are designed, application tier for processing, database tier for storage, presentation tier for user interface. All are clubbed as one. And this is something which is called as R1 architecture software. So we have to understand things from R1 architecture softwares and understand the purpose of the R1 architecture softwares. Then we have to understand what are the limitation of R1 architecture softwares, then what made the world to give a birth to R2 architecture softwares, what all those softwares, and what is the disadvantage which made R3 to come into existence. I have to explain you all these things. So our class should start with what now? R1 architecture software applications. Right guys? If I take you to that era and ask you guys, what is the first operating system which Microsoft has developed? Everyone know this guys. So operating system with a black and white monitor with a prompt blinking here, and to do anything we are typing the command. What do you call this operating system guys? MKDIR. What do you call this operating system? What you heard about it? MS DOS. Microsoft Disk Operating System. See this guys, I am taking you to that era. So how this operating system works, it doesn't have any color monitor. It has black and white screen wherein someone has to go and type in the commands. There was no monitor, there was no black and white, sorry, color monitor. There was no concept of mouse anything at that time. So I'm talking about that era. So when Microsoft has released DOS, only the computing was limited for scientific research purposes. Only those people used to use it to do some arithmetic operations or use it for scientific research purposes. But slowly, the shape of the world has changed when Microsoft has come up with concept of what guys? Windows. Windows operating system was developed to the world. This is a graphical user interface operating system, right? Operating system is a graphical user interface operating system. You have a mouse, you have a color monitor and everything. So when you look at this particular operating system, we know that, okay, with the help of mouse, we can do anything. So people were very happy with this operating system, right? So when people were very happy and they were watching movies, looking at, listening to the music or playing games, whatever they are doing on this Windows operating system, some set of intellectuals at that time started thinking how this operating system is developed. As a person who is going to enter into IT world, we know one thing: anything and everything which is developed on a computer is because of programming language only. The programmers are IT people at that time. The programmers have developed a small package. What is this package, guys? Accounting package. So today also we have a lot of accounting packages. What is the name of famous accounting package, guys? What do you have today? We call it as Tally. Heard about it? Tally, Wings, Focus. Yes, everyone. So people know
Yes.
it. And when account department has come on the computer, beside accounts department, sales people were sitting, and they said like, unless until we do a sale, okay, how you are going to get the money in the company? So we require what? A package. Develop a package for us. So sales people started asking to develop a package. Got it? So sales packages are developed. Very good. Once the sales packages are developed, people were very happy. Then next department which has come into existence is material. Material people say, I'm not going to tell you what is the stock available, what you're going to sell. So let us bring material management also on a computer. So in that way, a package for material management is developed. And then production fellow said, like, if I don't produce anything, what you're going to sell and what material you're going to keep. So in these way, these all departments are interlinked with each other. So happily, what they did, the IT people started developing a small packages to run one department. And when all the departments have come on a computer, what has happened? The management started saying what then? The management started saying, tell me guys, our business runs on computers. So can management say that? Yes. Once everything has come on a computer, they can say happily. So now if you want to see them in this entire environment in a pictorial diagram, how it look like? It look like this. What is this department? Finance department, where an accountant is sitting and a package is developed here. That package is loaded on this desktop. On that package, a finance, sorry, on that desktop, a finance package is developed. That package has what? Application, database, and presentation, all clubbed as one unit. A package is developed, right? An accountant started sitting here and entering the finance data or finance information. Similar way, salesperson started sitting on this package and entering the sales data. This package is also developed with application, database, presentation, all clubbed as one. Next, material person started sitting on a similar kind of a package. When a packages are developed with all the three entities are clubbed as one, you can't understand what is what. Then we call that architecture as R1 architecture packages. This packages exist in the world between what time frame? 1960 to 1970. Might be 1 or 2 years here and there. I'm just giving you a picture. So after these packages were developed in the world, people were very happy. Yes or no? But you know, we human beings are so unworthy people, we are never satisfied. Once we start using certain things, we are going to come to know about the loophole of this. Now, you sitting there and looking at this environment, can you tell me the loophole of this environment? Loophole is a disadvantage of this environment. The loopholes or else the disadvantages of R1 architecture has given birth to R2 architecture, right? So, in one sense, the mother of invention is necessity. What is the necessity of next architecture? So, what is the necessity? Necessity here is the loopholes what you have here. Can anyone tell me the loophole seeing this? The first loophole is, guys, only one accountant, one salesperson, one material, one production person are able to sit in this environment. If I have my business in every districts of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, say I have my manufacturing unit in Guntur, Nellore, say Karimnagar, Warangal, and I have a sales points there. Whatever I manufacture, I sell there as well. So if I have such type of requirement, now this computer is kept in head office, Hyderabad, right? But how about the sale which is happening in Guntur, Nellore, Karimnagar, and Warangal? How that information is going to come into this computer? So now someone has to again write things with a pen and paper. They have to carry that file every week to Hyderabad and give it to a poor accountant. This fellow has to sit and type every week data into it. Yes or no? That means the system is not online as well. So that is one disadvantage, that only one accountant. Second is this is not an online system. Third and very important loophole here is what is happening in finance department is not known to sales department. What is happening in sales department is not known to material. What is the raw material lying there doesn't know to production department. Is this a loophole? The damn, this is a big loophole. The people who started, the people who used to say you are given a very good system, we are happy and all, after 1 or 2 years they started, what is this here? So, as you are not satisfied and as you have a lot of disadvantages here, then people started thinking, what should be the next architecture? This is R1 architecture. Next architecture should be something better. The IT people were thinking how it can be a next better architecture. Slowly, what has happened, the concept of server got introduced to the world. What concept, guys? Server. Up till then, what you had? What we had? Desktops. Now, the concept of server has come into existence. The moment the concept of server has to come into existence to connect the server, what has come into existence? Client desktops or laptops. Now, yesterday's client, yesterday's desktop is today's laptop, right? Now, how a client would connect a server? This culprit has ruined our life. What is that? LAN. Yesterday's LAN is today's internet. The people who were struggling with this desktops, they started buying this environment. What environment? Client server technology. After buying this environment, they have kept a server in head office Hyderabad, and they have kept all these desktops in Guntur, Nellore, Chittur, Varangal, Karimnagar, and all districts. And everyone started connecting this particular server. So after your hardware is ready, now do you think that this software or this package can be loaded in this environment? No, that is something like what you cannot divide here. Everything is clubbed as one. In this environment, what do you need? You need a separate presentations, that to multiple presentations from where users can log in, or all the employees of the company. Finance person can log in, material person can log in, production person can log in, HR person can log in with their desktops, and they need to connect to a server. On a server end, you need to have a software application which can process user request and a database to store the information. So someone has to design this software wherein application and database were acting as one tier and all the presentations were acting as one tier. So if you can design such a software, what do you call that software as? R2 architecture software. And between which years this software were developed? 80 to 1992. And who are the first people to design this software architecture? This is what the catch now, guys. Who are the first people? Guys, the first people to design such architecture wherein presentations can be multiple, kept in a different desktops, and that presentation can connect a server, central server, wherein application and database is loaded. This environment is designed by IBM. And the five IBMers who are responsible to design this architecture, they have designed a software with this architecture and named that software as mainframes. Guys, mainframe software application runs on what architecture? So the moment this mainframe was designed to the world, guys, everyone started jumping and buying the mainframe because of its advantages. And most of the banks started purchasing this software. And let us have an example now. An ICICI bank used to work on or used to run their business on mainframe at one point of time. Today they run on SAP, but at one point of time they were on mainframe. Let us understand how this mainframe does a business, right? How a mainframe works. Let us understand that. And after understanding that, then let us think about the loophole of R2 architecture. Now you have an account in ICICI Bank and you want to deposit say 5 lakh rupees. What you will do? You will go to bank. This is SR Nagar branch. This is SR Nagar branch. This is Moti Nagar branch, Kalyan Nagar branch, Koti branch, Vanasthapuram branch, Dilshu Nagar branch. Or 100 branches are now connected to this server. So you went very near to a very near branch and you gave your paying slip. So who will be having this presentation in front of her? The lady who's sitting in the cash counter. She will be having this presentation. And what she will be doing the moment you give her, what? The moment you give her your paying slip, what she will be doing? What she will be doing, guys? Obviously, she will be looking into your account, right? And how she will look into your account? She will open her presentation, and in her presentation, something like this would be blinking. What would be blinking, guys? Account number would be blinking. In that account number, she'll be seeing your account number and she'll be typing your account number like this. After typing it, next, enter. The moment she enter here, where on her presentation, the command would travel where? To the server. In server, it is given to whom? The command is given to whom? Application. Because application is designed to do what? Processing of it. Application has to process this, yes or no? And go into the database, fetch your record. Within no time, your all account information is in front of her. Yes or no? This is how what? This is how your system runs. Yes or no? So in these way, multiple presentations are kept here now. Multiple presentations are kept. Everyone from different banks or branches, they are entering the customer information, hitting enter. And the moment they hit enter, the command is coming to a server and it is processing it. And after seeing your account information, she is going to have another tab. What is that tab? She will count your money, right? And she will be having a deposit tab wherein 500,000, and then she will be hitting save. Where she is hitting the save on her presentation. When she hits save, where the command would go again? Application. Application has to process it and save the information in your database. Before you leave that cash counter, you will be having a mobile message. Yes or no, guys? This is how the bank businesses are running today. Everyone know it, right? So this is how the bank business runs. So now one branch, two branch, three branch, 100 branch, 100 branches are now connected to the server. What would happen when 100 branches are connected to the server? There should be something which is called as the capacity of this software application, which is deployed on this hardware. This can handle, if suppose 100 presentations happily, right? So tomorrow, ICICI owner has decided, I want to increase the business. To increase the business, what those people will do? They will open the branches in every districts of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. If suppose, Andhra Pradesh only Telangana, sir, everywhere they have opened the branches. And after these branches are opened, another 100 presentations are connected now. How many? 100 presentations are connected to the same server and same software. What would happen? Earlier, when any employee of a bank, the moment she hits account number, within a fraction of milliseconds, she used to get a response from the server. Now, as you keep on increasing the branches and keep on increasing your presentations, the system is behaving slow. Government bank servers. What? If I have to deposit some money in a government bank now, I have to take half day leave. Yes or no, guys? And by the I have to stand in the line early morning 9 o'clock. By the time I reach, my turn comes. That fellow who is an employee of a bank, he will keep what on my face? Lunchtime. Yes or no? So if any business runs in that way, obviously, you know very well, private nationalized banks are springing up. Comparatively, your private government banks, why private banks are flourishing? Because of the service they provide. But the service, whatever these people are providing, are dependent on the software what they are using. So now 100 branches are okay. If you're adding another 100 branches, the server is going slow. That means the technology is doing what here? The technology is making or telling rather to slow down the business. To slow down the business. And whenever the technology say, I can't do anything much, then a new architecture technology should sprang up. And whatever the limitation, what I said is only one limitation, guys. For mainframes, we have thousands of limitations. Keep them aside. One limitation means multiple presentations cannot be, or you cannot increase the branches whatever you want. This is one of the biggest limitation of what architecture? R2 architecture. So when R2 architecture has this limitation, so something new should come which should overcome this limitation. And that architecture is. So now let us understand the limitation, disadvantages of R2 architecture. What are the disadvantages, guys? Cannot separate application and DB because they are made like that. Software is developed like that. You can't separate them. Secondly, limited presentations can log in to the system. You cannot have n number of presentations because system is going slow and it is stopping your business. Because of this limitation from architecture side, people started thinking what should be new technology software. Any idea, guys, what should be the new technology software? The new technology software, now I'm going to do this, reduce this. The new tech, now here you cannot even have multiple applications, only one application. If you can have one more application, you can add more presentations to it, right? This is also a limitation of disadvantages of R2 architecture. So next, what has come into existence? R3 architecture. And when this R3 architecture software were designed, and who has designed it? And when they have designed their software and they have released the software to the world on which date? 06/07, 6th of July 1972. What is this month? How many days we have passed SAP's birthday? Yes or no? Yes. A very big celebration which has happened. People are not even aware of that. Working in SAP for over more than a year now, people are not aware like when the birthday of SAP is celebrated. So why? Because this is going to give us a bread and butter. At least we have to have respect towards it. And what is the software name? SAP R3 1.0A. They have released this particular software to the world with an architecture R3. How does an R3 architecture should look like? It should have a separate application, individual application, which can be furtherly classified as primary application and secondary applications. It needs to have central database and what is called as database tier, and it should have a presentation tier which is called as GUI, means graphical user interface. You should have these three things in your software. And once you have these three things in a software, how does a software look like? It look like this. What is this concept, guys? Main server. On this main server, what is loaded? What is loaded, guys? The primary application is loaded. And that primary application which is loaded would have what? Would have multiple presentations. Multiple presentations are connected here. Yes or no? And once the multiple presentations are connected, if the presentations are getting overloaded or this application is getting overloaded, you should have a liberty of what next? Secondary application. Liberty of secondary application. Liberty of secondary application should be there. And if this is overloaded, you should have a liberty of what? One more application. One more secondary application. And if this is also overloaded, you should have a liberty of another. So in this way, when you can have multiple secondary and primary application, one multiple secondary applications, to divide or share the load of what? Presentations. And whether the data is coming from primary or secondary, it is going into Central database. What do you call this environment as?
R3 architecture.
What do you call this environment as, guys? R3 architecture software. Yeah, this environment is considered as R3 architecture environment. Is this clear to you, everyone? How
Yes.
and what was the reason for giving a birth to R3 architecture software? Are they clear to you, everyone? So this is the reason why R3 architecture software were released in the market. So if anyone can design such a software, what we started calling that software as three-tiered software. And tell me, guys, who are the people who have designed this software to the world for the first time? Any idea? I've just told you, right?
Yes.
Who are the people who have
Indeed.
designed? SAP were the people who have designed this architecture to the world for the first time. And after SAP designing this architecture, guys, every ERP in the world started designing their software on what architecture? R3 architecture. That means every ERP today follow this architecture only. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say, guys? This architecture only. No other architecture they follow. So this is your R3 architecture. Do anyone have any? Now you understood one thing, guys. To understand R3 architecture, we started our classes from where? R1 architecture. Then what we have discussed? R2 architecture. Next, what we have discussed? R3.